Hey, welcome to my impressions of the Injustice demo. You can get it right now on the Xbox Live Arcade and the PSN store, and I would suggest checking it out if you liked the last MK game, or I'm going to say just fighting games in general. You can get Wonder Woman, Batman, and Lex Luthor. It has basically an arcade mode and local multiplayer if you're curious of the features. You cannot remap your buttons. So let's just get into the game. Right off the bat, my favorite character in the demo is Lex Luthor. That was a huge surprise for me because I thought like Wonder Woman or Batman would be the best, but nah, no one beats Luthor. Now there we go, environmental attack. Let's talk about the controls in it. X button is weak attack, Y button is medium attack, so that's all normal there. Things get a little funky here. The A button is where your heavy attack is, and then B button is where your character action or personal or special move is. It's like Blaze Blue or Persona or any kind of anime fighter. Every character has their own kind of thing. Wonder Woman's a stance character. Lex Luthor puts on like a shield that I think has 3 hits of armor, and we'll talk about Batman's later. So Lex is kind of a zoning character, but he's also got some stuff to get people out of his face. My favorite move of his is just his jumping A, which is a big old axe that he swings around. He's got like an orbital laser. He can do... he can plant mines, he has turrets and a whole bunch of other stuff. Lex is a lot of fun to play, and those little jump jets ahead give him a lot more mobility than you think with a character of that size. Oh, he also has a Sparta kick, as you can see. Sparta kicks for the win. And the best ending pose ever. Walking out there, talking about the fight, and then having great demands. He just leaves that suit there. So let's go to a quick criticism I have. Look at that. NetherRealm has not fixed the mirror match problem. I can barely tell which Lex Luthor is which Lex Luthor, and Batman is like the next generation of Smoke versus Smoke. Though the trailer that you get for beating the arcade mode in the demo shows you that there should be, at least I hope, 3 skins per character. So, I don't know, maybe if you do a mirror match it'll force you to pick a different skin. At least I hope. Oof, environmental stuff. That's right bumper. And the environmental stuff does a whole bunch of damage. Here I am trying to trick it to go back to this water tower, and miss. So there you go. So it's not easy mode. Not easy to hit with those. Meter management is awesome in this game. It's I think the NetherRealm guys are really good at that. Oh, there we go. That's back A. That's how you knock people out. Speaking of meter management, you hit the right trigger is kind of like how meter management is. If you do that charge move with the right trigger, it has armor. Oh, man, getting ahead of myself. Here is the move list, and this is basically an encyclopedia of everything you want to know. Startup frames, hit frames, on-block, recovery frames, how high it hits, the damage it does. You can just figure everything out just with the start screen. No need to get a strategy guide or go to GameFAQs or SRK or Event Hubs. It's all right here. Well, I'm sure people will have their opinions of it. And I thought this was going to be a dumb feature, but it is really cool in the demo, at least when you're trying to figure out a new character. When you go through the move list, you can press the Y button, and that'll tag either a combo or a special move. And you can see right there, it's just floating above you, so you can just quick reference it right there and start learning some of your bread and butter combos. Doomsday is not playable in the demo, but he is the last person you fight. He seems to play, I was going to say like Grant from Mark of the Wolves, but I think that's just because Grant had a body slam move. Seems to have a lot of armor on his moves, and unfortunately, I can't tell the difference between his character trait and Lex's. Lex has a shield that does armor, and Doomsday seems to cover himself in kryptonite. But yeah, definitely check out Lex. He has a lot of fun, got a lot of reach, and he seems like he can just like... He can fight like up close. He's got that like suck you in move. He's got a shoulder charge. So just a whole bunch of stuff like Night Wolf and like a magnetic pull-in like Magneto. So you know what? He's got a lot of stuff going on right there. Oh, backdashing is invincible. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a couple of invincibility frames. Earlier I dodged the enemy Lex Luthor's orbital laser with a backdash. Here's Wonder Woman. I thought she'd be my favorite. She's an interesting character. A stance character. So when you press B, she either has her lasso or sword and shield. What you lose with the sword and shield is you can no longer air dash, so you lose mobility for extra damage, and I think you might take less damage. She seems kind of neat. Oh, another neat thing that I tried to do there, but you can actually click forward right trigger or back right trigger to add a wall bounce or a ground bounce to any combo for the cost of a meter. So here we are, wagering meter. I think if 2 blows hit, and that's kind of a good give or take kind of thing. If you're the aggressor and you win, you deal damage to the enemy. If the enemy is considered the defender and they win the wager, they actually gain health back. So I'm pretty sure that can be rather dramatic. It only been on the second round, or after someone loses their first life bar. And there is push blocking in the game as well. You do that by back and right trigger. Here's that was a little bit of Wonder Woman's move list. So you can see it's divided by sword and lasso stance. They don't mark that in the quick stuff, which is something I wish they would have done. And she has a really cool ending pose. So similar to Noob Saibot, she actually summoned those two Amazons in when she does her super. Moving on to Batman, someone who I've had mixed feelings about, but he seems kind of cool. I'm not quite sure where they're pulling this from his lore, but Batman's trait abilities, he summons 3 little robot bats that you can either fire out one at a time by tapping B or pressing down B. Batman has a rather large move list, but that mostly comes from the fact that his moves will have either an anti-air version or like a horizontal version. I keep kind of like putting his cape in front of him because that's his parry move. So you can see add an extra 3 hits to the combo. If someone hits him when he's parrying, he just knocks him over, breaks their leg. He definitely is very rush downy and like non-superhero characters. I mean, Batman's a superhero, but he doesn't have super strength. If I were Lex Luthor, he would have yanked down that entire sign and just not the arrow. I'm not a big combo-y kind of guy, but the Batman definitely seems to be like if you like Scorpion, because he definitely has like Scorpion slide. Or I guess he had that in MK versus DC. So here we are, the smoke versus smoke mirror match. Which Batman is which Batman? I'm just kind of experimenting with some stuff, trying to do some meter-enhanced moves. Batman's coolest thing is if you keep holding up after you jump, you glide. And here's Batman's move list. Like I said, it's a lot of like, you can pick a different angle. Batman, if you hold up while you jump, you can glide, and you can do kind of like crazy cross-ups and other kind of stuff with that. He seems to be a neat character, but like I said, Lex Luthor, definitely the best person in the demo. But yeah, definitely check it out, mess around with it. It's got a short little arcade mode and local multiplayer if you can find someone to play with you. I unfortunately couldn't find anybody to play local, so can't wait for 2 Tuesdays from now.